Hi, everyone. For our product examination project, we chose the product of a Honeywell fan. Here's our product in three different views. The first one being the isometric front view. There's one with some dimensions, and then here's the view from the back. Here's the full product disassembly. You see all the different components of the fan, but we chose to choose four specific parts, and the first one being the screws.
Our first component are the Phillip rounded head tapping screws that hold the front and back grills together. There are two commonly used processes to manufacture a screw, cold forming and machining. We believe this tapping screw was produced through cold forming. Cold forming is known to be ideal for high volume production rates and to reduce production costs as there are minimal scrap. On the other hand, machining has a lot of scraps and involves removing the material with the lathe. In cold forming, the raw material is heated and then goes through a multi-stage punching process to form the screw head. After this, the threads are formed through cutting or through rolling dies. We believe that thread rolling was used because the threads are weaker with thread cutting and the process is continuous for rolling dies.
For the second component, we analyze the copper wires in the motor. Here's a close-up view. We analyze the copper wire used for the coils in the permanent split capacitor motor. Copper wires are used because they are good electrical conductors. They are in a coil to increase the magnetic field and to power the motor. In the initial process, aluminum plates are placed in a furnace and then casted. Afterwards, it goes through a rolling and cooling phase before being placed in a drawing machine. From here, they are drawn until it reaches a desired diameter. They are spooled and can be ready to be winded in a winding machine.
For our last products 3 and 4, we chose these plastic parts you see circled here. So due to the complex geometry of these plastic parts, as well as the injector pin marks you've seen shown here, it can be determined that these products were likely injection molded. That's just a manufacturing process for producing parts by injection molten material into a mold, in this case, plastic. In addition, it's important to know Honeywell is a very large company and they push out this product at a very high volume. All the more reasoning why this was probably injection molding. Alternatively, you could have used thermoforming for this. And in comparing the two, injection molding involves injection molten liquid polymers into a mold at high temperature and extreme pressure. And when the mold cools, you get your newly formed plastic part. On the other hand, thermoforming involves heating thermoforming plastic sheets and forming them onto a mold surface. The difference between the two being thermoforming is much cheaper, but you can't get that detail you'd get with injection molded, like you see here. And thank you for listening, and here are references.